As a result of working with the Cadre, some of the things that we have found that are important to focus on are the communication between vocational rehab and the schools.
Our specific task that we focused on was, again, to involve families in the transition planning process, and how we did that was by providing newsletters, monthly newsletters on various transition topics.
I feel like I've been a part of our team, gathering a lot of resources that we can use kind of across the board for all ages, some geared more for middle and high school, but resources that we need to share with the parents, teachers, families to kind of prepare them and get them ready.
Through our Cadre work, the best results have been in bringing our information together and networking and collaborating as a regional area to identify issues that we have seen with interagency collaboration within our group, and then figure out ways to constructively address and provide ownership to every person that's involved in that decision-making process.
So one example that I think worked really well because of the work that our transition cadre did was connecting families to the Medicaid waiver through the newsletters that we provided to people, that they were made aware of that, and then I was able to personally lead them through the process of how to access those Medicaid waivers.
One of the things that I feel like I bring to the table to our cadres is making sure parents understand the process, because I may know that voc rehab is out there, but I may not understand as a parent what they can do for my student and what that process should look like. And if it doesn't happen, what should I do as a parent to follow through and make sure that it does happen?
In terms of building capacity, my work with the Cadre has focused on, in the very beginning, putting faces and names together so we can pick up the phone and we know who we're talking to, and it's just very easy to communicate when you've met with people and you meet with them on a regular basis.
Well, the work with the Cadre, I'm going to say, is going to help build capacity in our district because we've developed some tools, and I think that the tools are going to effectively help us communicate back and forth between school and adult service providers.
The Transition Assessment Resource Guide that was created by the Indiana Secondary Transition Resource Center was used as the basis for the development of our online transition matrix. The tool that we've created ultimately goes back into the hands of teachers, and by giving them tools that help improve their efficiency as a teacher, as well as showing them how valuable this tool is, ultimately empowers those teachers and builds that capacity in the classrooms.
I thought a lot about how our cadre work influenced or helped a student, and this year, since we were having meetings within the school, the vocational rehabilitation counselor was talking to a student, and I was in the meeting, and he began to talk about his application, but also that his mother was legally blind. So it ended up with the vocational rehabilitation counselor scheduling to go to their home, and both the student and his mother are receiving services. So it was expanded beyond what I would have expected to happen for that family.
Well, I think the Cadre helped focus our attention on some very specific areas of need, and I also think that for my school corporation in particular, the work that's been posted online through the Transition Resource Center has been so helpful in providing assessments, providing webinars, providing Tuesday's tips for our teachers.
I've used the Resource Center for information, questions. We've had questions about Indicator 13. We've had questions about assessments to use for our students. And I feel like it's been wonderful because we can pick up the phone and call, or I can ask in person.
Well, we've used the Indiana Transition Resource Center in many ways. First of all, the support people are outstanding, and they're readily available. We can call them. They're great in giving us feedback. Also, their assistance with transition assessment has been really good, and just the resources that get shared through the cadres meeting with everyone here have been excellent.
I think the characteristics of quality transition services is that they're ever changing, so that we meet the students' needs at that time and the family's needs. That doesn't always stay the same. I think we have to be on top of what's happening in the world in terms of services provided, state dollars, funding, those kinds of things, or we're going to leave our students in the dust when they get out of high school.
You really have to make sure that the transition services are student-centered, that they're coming from the students, and that the teachers are listening to the desires, the strengths, the interests, and ultimately the desired outcomes that the student is hoping for after high school.